I'm Jeff Taylor, joined by Lloyd Gardner. And Lloyd, Monaco certainly provided a lot of evidence all season long. As you look at the likes of Chris Evans, Gerald Robinson, Almeida Kikanovich, DJ Cooper, Aaron Kraft, that they have a team coached by Zvezdan Mitrovic that could perhaps win this competition.
Absolutely. I mean, they come in arguably as the favorites, Jeff. The best record coming into the Final Four. We know, as both of these teams are, defense is key for them, so that'll be a big story today.
Yeah, it's all the high-flying theatrics, but MHP Riesen Ludwigsburg, we were talking about this before the game. This is a team that on any given day could go out and get a huge performance from any number of players.
Yeah, I mean, it's incredible, the statistic we found. Elgin Cook, the only player to have a scoring game in the top 100 performances in the Basketball Champions League this year. So you can see what a team it is. They will, probably go 11, 12 guys deep. They will rotate a lot. We know they're playing without Justin Sears. I'm sure we'll touch on that later, but it is such a deep team, MHP Riesen Ludwigsburg, and they really will use that long roster.
Gerald Robinson has been absolutely on fire in this competition, in the playoffs especially, shooting the ball exceptionally well from three-point range. They would not probably have made it to this point had he not been on song. And you have to say the same about DJ Cooper. I mean, he has been utterly terrific this season for this Monaco team. Well,
this Monaco backcourt, we talked, you mentioned the impact of Robinson. He's gone from 14 points a game in the regular season to 18 points a game in the playoffs. He has really stepped his game up.
And here's another player we were talking about. You see the numbers, Thomas Walkup. What do you call him? Is he a point guard? Is he a small forward? Is he a shooting guard? And then you've got Cook, who you've mentioned as well, has really produced. But Walkup, back to him. You said don't call him a shooting guard.
Yeah, I mean, I said you got to call him a player. That's it. Whether he's a point guard, shooting guard, small forward, he's so versatile, and that is his strength, really.
So we are in Monaco. This is the venue where we had the Olympic Games, obviously 14 years ago. Where has all the time gone? So many big basketball games have been played in this competition for the last 14 years. It has just been one big competition. I remember the 2008 FIBA Olympic qualifying tournament here. It's just been an exceptional venue for basketball, and now it's going to be hosting the second Basketball Champions League Final Four. Monaco, they made it to the Final Four last year. They lost in the semifinals to Banvit, but they won the third place game, the bronze. That was in Tenerife. They are the only club that have made the return trip for the second year in a row. And of course, MHP Riesen Ludwigsburg came within seconds of qualifying for the Basketball Champions League last season, and Jordan Theodore Banvit denied them right at the death. They have made it, and some new faces, but same coach, John Patrick, and they have been a lot of fun to watch.
Well, both of these two teams are different units than played last year, but they've upgraded for sure in certain areas. Credit to both coaching staff. They play a very similar style of basketball. They're both going to get up the floor. Monaco, have relied all year on creating steals. And we're looking at the number 1 and the number 3 defensive ranked teams in the competition. We're looking at the number 1 and number 2 teams for steals in the competition. So it's the defensive emphasis, and that comes from the coach. I know that both coaching staff have talked about this in the build-up. We may have different people, but the philosophy remains the same. And that's going to be the interesting thing for me. Who's going to get on top defensively and use their defense to turn into offense and easy points? And some of that, another storyline is the injuries. So the injuries to Justin Sears for Ludwigsburg, we know he's not playing. And then also the injury to Amari C, and whether, he's even going to play tonight. He's out there warming up, but we're hearing that he's re-injured his hand. He's been back the last 2 games in the French league. What impact is he going to have here tonight? And he's a key player for them.
And of course, you always have the referees, and you don't get any better referees than this crew with Alexander Glizic, Thomas Jasovicius from Lithuania, and Manuel Mazzoni from Italy. Of course, these 3 guys at the top of their profession, and they get a big game. No surprise here in Athens tonight. Well, as we get closer to the start of this game, with about 4 minutes away, we'll get a look at the starting fives for each of these teams. And, you know, with so many, you see the high-flying theatrics there from Monaco and Evans. He is a real crowd pleaser, and I'm guessing he's going to end up, he had probably the dunk of the season, catching the ball off the glass after a pass from Robinson, and he will not be in the starting lineup. In fact, C will be, with DJ Cooper, Sergei Gladier, the Ukraine international, Kikanovic of Bosnia-Herzegovina, and Joe Robinson, who's been starting like a house on fire in this playoffs, and has really been huge for Zvezdan Mitrovic, who also is worth mentioning, serves as the coach of Montenegro's national team. So he's had a very busy year. It's like you have the international windows that come along, and he doesn't take a break. He changes gears and goes and coaches Montenegro's national team. For MHP Riesen Ludwigsburg, this is a team that, what I find curious, they play so much high up-tempo pressure defense. It's Monaco that actually lead in steals in this competition, and it's MHP Riesen Ludwigsburg who have the fewest turnovers. So they're starting five: Walkup, Johnson, McRae, Walaskowski, and Elgin Cook. And again, you know, something that we put to the captain, McRae, yesterday. You know, these guys, when they're going to play for John Patrick, they're going to have to play 100% all out defensively and give everything. He's going to shuffle players in and out. Yeah,
well, I think the key one is Robinson. Who's going to guard Robinson from Ludwigsburg? You know, I would guess McRae will start. You know, he's the defensive stopper, really. We know they got a lot of guys that can rotate in for Ludwigsburg, but for me, Robinson on the perimeter is the you know, real go-to scorer for Monaco. If Ludwigsburg can slow him down, if they can take him out of his game, then I think that really gives them an edge.
Well, Mitrovic taking the players, you know, what are the types of things your coach, what is your coach telling these players here right before the game?
Yeah, well, now it's just the reinforcement of what they've been doing for the last couple of days. You know, talking about the scout, making sure they're aware of matchups. They'll be going through the starting lineups of MHP Riesen Ludwigsburg, but I'm sure they will have anticipated probably that lineup from Ludwigsburg. So now it's just about the first play. What are you going to run? Where are you going to go early? How are you going to establish the lead? You know, so often I think they'll probably go into Kikanovic early. They know that Justin Sears is out, suffered the ACL, the MCL, the meniscus tear in the Bundesliga. So I'm looking to go to the inside if I'm Monaco early on. And then for Coach John Patrick, it's going to be, you know, as I said, I think Robinson is the key. He is the one true go-getter scorer on the perimeter for Monaco. We know Cooper's going to be creating. He's a bit more of a passer though, and Kikanovic relies on Cooper for the scoring.
Well, we are about ready to start things off here. The first semifinal of the 2017-2018 Basketball Champions League. It is the second edition. Here starts Tenerife. Of course, they exited the competition in the playoffs, so there will be no successful title defense. And I believe a year's already gone past since we were back in Tenerife. Here we are in Athens. And it's all about Monaco in red, and in the yellow, MHP Riesen Ludwigsburg. Riesen, meanwhile, means giants. A few trivia fans out there in German. Well, hello, everybody. and welcome to Athens, Greece. This is the Basketball Champions League, and it is the first semifinal of this Final Four, and it's MHP Riesen Ludwigsburg taking on Monaco. Walk up over to Walaskowski. Gladier reaches in, knocks it out of McRae's hands. Shot clock winding down already. Walk up gets it to McRae, puts it up from deep, and off the back of the iron, but then the ball goes out of bounds off of Amarasi or Robinson.
Quick look at the lineups. Robinson's starting on walk up. That's going to be an interesting one, but big breakdown at the end of the shot clock there for Kikanovic. Switches on the pick and roll under 5 seconds, and it's a poor containment from him.
And the turnover, they haven't had many turnovers. We talked about that, but Karen Johnson turns it over on the inbounds play. Now, Robinson, again, guarded by Walkup. So that is the key matchup, we think, right here early. Walaskowski, now DJ Cooper, he's got some big shots in him, but he doesn't knock that one down. Cook pulls up and gets MHP Riesen on the board.
We talked about Amari C. How fit is he? Played the last 2 games, but suffered a hand injury, and that's another key matchup. C against Cook. That's going to be a great one to watch.
Cooper up high. Shot clock again, winding down. Whips it over to Amarasi. And the veteran gets it to Gladier and banks in the 3 right at the shot clock. And boy, I don't think Monaco could have hoped for any better out of that.
No, I mean, that's a great defensive possession for Ludwigsburg. They had a chance to get the steal or rebound and take an early lead. You never know how that can affect a game. Now the 3's put the Monaco straight back into this one.
Cook puts his head down, goes in strong to the basket.
So that's a matchup right now. Cook is leading it because that's twice. Once in transition and now just off the dribble. Too strong for Mari C.
Gladier kind of loses control of it. Now Johnson gets it in midcourt. He pulls in and banks it in with the left hand. And this is the problem, the approach to the game that Zvezdan Mitrovic was worried about is that pressure.
What you can't see on that screen there is how spread all the defense is, no matter where you are on the floor. So often, if a guard's out in the backcourt, they're not being denied, but Ludwigsburg don't play that way. They deny no matter where you are on the floor. Look at McRae all over Robinson on this near side.
So McRae gets the personal. Now Kikanovic goes and he is denied by Cook, but fouled. And Patrick likes the defense. Here it is again, Kikanovic. And yeah, he got him on the right arm after blocking the ball, but you don't want to give, you want to make him earn it, don't you? And Kikanovic misses with his first attempt. So looks like George and Joseph might be getting ready to come into the game, taking off his warm-up.
Kikanovic is one of those guys capable of having big games, but on the miss, he's got to make free throws. He can score in and around the paint. But that mid-range jump shot he often has to knock down, and then from the free throw line.
Now Cook looks like he's up for this one, going right at C again, and this time lost his footing. And gets up with a little bit of a limp as Patrick looks out. Here it is again. And the turnover.
McRae is working Robinson. They're just going to try and wear him down with bodies.
Robinson this time flies in. And the ball goes out of bounds, and the defense.
I mean, this is Thomas Walkup. Look at him get in front, not foul, force the miss. And it's things like that, even as impressive as the numbers Walkup puts up, with the points, the rebounds, the assists, things like that, it's those little plays that make him so good.
Absolutely. I mean, he was, during the season, a lot of people talking about him as a potential MVP. And Long one from the Canadian. Peter McNeely misses, but Walaskowski picks up the offensive rebound and puts it up and in.
Monaco, this isn't a good start for them. You know, the only shot they made is the bank three. Haven't got any rhythm going here.
Here's Robinson again, putting it on the deck. Over to Cooper, wide open. And that time, Kikanovic was fouled by Walaskowski as he tries to keep him, the big fella, off the boards. Look at him battling down low, and looked like Kikanovic possibly got away with a shove as well. It's kind of 50-50 maybe. Cooper again, hands it off to Kikanovic, much better from Monaco. And Peter McNeely raises his hand to signal he committed the foul.
Great design play. Not only the pick and roll, it works because Robinson's in the corner. So Robinson's man doesn't want to help off him, leave him open, let him get going. That's why Kikanovic's so open and around the ring, but now he's got to make his free throws.
And this time Kikanovic makes the free throw. Getting up off the bench is Dwayne Evans. He'll be coming into the game for the German club. And Kikanovic misses another one, so shaky start from him at the free throw line. Darren Johnson whips it back out to the perimeter to Walkup. And Walkup just goes right past Gladier. I was about to say how Gladier's slightly underrated defensively, but he was eaten alive that time. Nice burst from Walkup. So Evans checks in. Walaskowski is out. And now Evans gets in. And Robinson with the rebound. Kikanovic trying to post up Evans.
It's a really interesting sub for Ludwigsburg. Usually that's Justin Sears that comes in. We're expected to see Jacob Wiley as the guy that picked up all the minutes. They've gone with Evans. I mean, Evans, I'm not sure what he's listed at as height-wise, but I think whatever it is going to be pretty generous because he's given up a lot of size to Kikanovic. And they didn't have any strategy there when Kikanovic called the ball. They're just going to let Evans seemingly play him one-on-one. So it'll be really interesting to see, you know, how Evans can do in that. But, I mean, it doesn't matter if he keeps missing free throws. Ludwigsburg have got a load of bodies on the bench still to come in. They'll keep fouling him.
Yeah, I mean, we're talking about one of the star performers offensively in this competition, Kikanovic, and he has missed several free throws here in the first 4.5 minutes. Malik Mueller in the game, shooting guard, 24 years of age, number 11. For Riesen. And Johnson pulls up and drills the mid-range jump shot.
And now the challenge is Monaco. How are they going to guard the pick and roll with Evans? Because they can't hedge with Kikanovic. Evans is just going to stop high and shoot it.
Lacombe in the game as well for Monaco, and almost loses it, and gets the ball to Robinson. And it's as you say, you know, this Monaco team not really in the flow. Johnson, meanwhile, fouled by Paul Lacombe.
And as I said to you, I think Robinson's the key. First look he's had, it wasn't, you know, the best look, but they need him to score. And right now, I like all the moves from John Patrick. The way he's changed this lineup, it was caught Monaco off guard a little. Here's the pick and roll. Kikanovic is so scared of the smaller Evans going to the perimeter. He didn't help enough on Johnson. Left him wide open for the jumper.
So C checks out, and we get our first look at Christopher Evans, the high flyer, coming in from Monaco. And Peter McNeely drives in, misses. No Robinson. I mean, shaky start for Monaco, but they're only down 5.
Long time to go in this one. They just need to get that rhythm, like we said. Couple of baskets, they'll be back on track.
Now Robinson, a little floater. Evans gets the ball. Good hands, I think, from Evans. Knocks it out of bounds. And Aaron Kraft will come in. And arguably the best defensive player on the floor just coming into the game right now, Kraft.
Now, if you've won Big Ten Player of the Year, NCAA Player of the Year, NBA D-League Player of the Year, chances are you're a pretty good defender.
Ohio State. Now Evans. And he is denied as he goes right at Kekanovic.
Much better job from Kekanovic. Look, keeps himself in front of the drive. So even if the turnover didn't come, it would have been a tough finish over the top. So good defense that time.
Now Kraft across mid-court. And now the foul out on the perimeter. I would say this is probably the advantage that Monaco have over every team at this Final Four is at the point guard spot.
Yeah, I mean the only negative, if you've got to find one, is Kraft steps in. He's a great defender, as we talked about. But now in this lineup, at this moment in time, they've got just 5 points, of which 3 of those was a bank 3. He doesn't bring that offensive firepower of, say, a DJ Cooper. So what you're hoping is what Kraft creates offensively is out of his defense and getting into the lane, kicking it, providing for others. It's all well and good when Robinson's open and he's knocking him down, but if they're going to stay at home on Robinson, well, Kraft's got to become a scorer, which he doesn't, hasn't really looked to do early on.
Oh, he's saw the resignation almost from the bench from Mitrovic after that missed free throw. His team is now just 2 of 7 at the free throw line. And the second one is no good, but this time Evans gets the rebound. Boy, what in the world has gotten in to this Monaco free throw shooting? Kraft, well, a little bit too hard, and Walkup with the rebound. Here he is, Wiley. We talked about his introduction to this team, and he draws the foul. That's a tough foul to give away that far away from the basket.
Wiley's a tough matchup, though, real tough cover. Playing him at the 5, and Monaco have had to change their lineup and go a lot smaller now to try and match up with Ludwigsburg.
So timeout on the floor, alarm bells ringing in Monaco. Just 5 points in the first 3.5 minutes of this game.
Let's go to the point. Let's go inside, play. They don't big guys. Lose the good screens. We know what to play. You start to play the game and start to play immediately. You don't want to play.
I mean, the shooting numbers tell the story in a way. I mean, you got to put the ball in the basket, but what you don't see on that are the missed free throws.
Yeah, well, they haven't made a 2-point field goal yet, Monaco. If you don't make a 2-point field goal, how are you going to be winning or leading in a game? And we see Kekanovic sitting there. He's 4th in the competition, 4th in the Champions League in points scored in the paint. And he's a guy that's come up empty. You see what Ludwigsburg have done. They've fouled him. They haven't allowed him to get those easy baskets, and he hasn't capitalized from the free throw line. Now we have a long time to go in this game. Will those fouls start to build up against Ludwigsburg? Will that start to come back and cause them a problem? Well, that's something we'll have to follow, but we know they've got a lot of bodies, that they can bring in a lot of guys that have experience in this competition because they played a deep bench every single game of this season.
Kekanovic came into this shooting 71% at the free throw line. And here's Wiley, and you have to wonder, again, why Georgie Joseph would foul Wiley that far away from the basket, but now he misses a free throw.
There'll be something wrong with the free throw line, right? The way this game has gone. Incredible.
Well, Wiley makes the second. So they lost Justin Sears to the torn ACL, MCL, and really bad knee injury. Recently, he was such a big part of this team. But they have been able to bring in Wiley. Lacombe. And great crashing the boards here.
Well, the tactical battle is really interesting. We said Monaco have got to go smaller now because they need to match up with this smaller lineup, the mobility of Ludwigsburg. But the problem is now Ludwigsburg are switching on defense. Usually you say, oh, let's go to the inside, but they haven't gone inside finisher on the floor because they've gone smaller, Monaco.
Wiley comes up to set the pick. Look at Kraft trying to harass Walkup. Gets it and out onto the perimeter to Mueller and misses everything but the net.
Great defense from Aaron Kraft, just blew up the play.
Robinson drives in, sense of urgency in his play, and draws the foul. So Mueller out, Walaskowski comes back into the game. So it's Peter McNeely, McCray, Walkup, Wiley, and Walaskowski. There's Damjan Rudish, hasn't checked in yet. Joined the club midway through the season with Monaco.
Big to get Robinson at the line. Just get him going. Hasn't had that opportunity. Remember the quarterfinal matchups, he just exploded in the first quarter there, like a couple of huge games. So a couple of free throws for him, see if that gets him going.
Just needs to see that ball fall through the hoop, I think.
Yeah, absolutely.
And look at Kraft. Now, you can see the replay. And Mitrovic chirping over there on the sidelines. And Walkup capitalizes. So 13-7. And again, it doesn't look good for Monaco, but on the other hand, it's only a 6-point deficit. I mean, they can erase this in the next 15 seconds. Absolutely. The way they play.
Yeah, especially with the defensive intensity they bring. Not necessarily full court, but in the half court.
Kraft, guarded by Peter McNeely. Robinson dumps it off to Evans, and he goes high and draws the foul. That's the second foul, I think, on Peter McNeely.
A lot of fouls racking up. It's the seventh against Ludwigsburg already. We kind of missed, Cook's gone out, he's got 2 fouls. Evans is out, he's got 2 fouls. It's Peter McNeely's second. So we keep saying they've got a really deep bench, but there comes a point where, someone like Elgin Cook is valuable to the team, and you want him out there on the floor.
And once again, a missed free throw by Monaco and by Chris Evans. And he misses both. And again, you can see the frustration from Mitrovic over there in front of that Monaco bench. And Damjan Rudish is going to check into the game. Peter McNeely for 3. Good! And the Canadian sensation played his college basketball at Ryerson for Roy Rana, one of Canada's fine coaches, also in their national team program. And now it's a 9-point lead, and you have to wonder what's in the head of Monaco right now. Robinson for 3. And this is quite possibly their worst quarter of basketball in the Basketball Champions League.
And that's what happens. Robinson's searching for it now because he can't get a good look.
And Walkup with a little hesitation goes up and in. And a dream start for him and MHP Riesen Ludwigsburg. And boy, you don't see Kraft beaten so easily.
Well, he's done a great job until this point, slowing Walkup down, but Walkup, great move.
Evans again, bounce pass, and Rudish Lacombe puts it up and in. Rudish hasn't checked in yet.
They don't need to worry about the lead at the moment, Monaco. They just got to get the rhythm offensively. Yeah. Just some baskets to get going.
McRae, Walaskowski, the big lefty, and Evans with the rebound.
This is where Robinson's dangerous, out of transition.
Lacombe again, and gets it to Evans, and Evans puts it up and in. Mitrovic appealing for a foul, but he's not going to get it. The way they've been shooting him, he wouldn't make it anyway. Here's Peter McNeely, drives in, puts it up, and that's MHP Riesen at its best, answering quickly.
Now they're going to go stop to end what would be a really good first quarter for them, though.
Kraft has it up high. Calls the play. Shot clock winding down. Kraft over to Robinson. Oh, he gave it up. Evans, did he get it off in time? And it rattles out. I thought Robinson might put it up.
I don't think he was ready for it.
And this is where they are dangerous. They can get into a race with you and put the points on the board. Evans, a glimmer of hope here from Monaco, and a very disappointing opening frame. After one, it's MHP Riesen Ludwigsburg of Germany up 20-11 on Monaco.
The small positive, perhaps, for Monaco is those couple of baskets they scored at the end.
Okay, so Lloyd, talk us through those stats. I mean, I guess they're pretty self-explanatory, aren't they?
Yeah, exactly. As I said, the lead is important, no doubt. But just Monaco, just being able to get the scoreboard moving over right now is really important. So that's why those last couple of baskets for them, really important. They've only got 2 field goals in the game, or two-point field goals. They just need to find a way to get that rhythm offensively. And then from that, some stops will come. You'll hope that you'll be able to adjust on the defensive end. But right now, I mean, Ludwigsburg, from the tip, look comfortable. We talked about both of these teams good defensively, but right now, Ludwigsburg look like they're the ones asking the questions of Monaco at that end of the floor, and Monaco offensively haven't been able to unlock it. If they can get Robinson going, I still believe he is the key to it. He's not going to be on the floor for this second quarter to start it, so it's these type of lineups for Monaco. I question where are the points going to come from.
Well, they're going to have DJ Cooper. He's a scorer. He hasn't had a great start, but they're going to have a two-pronged point guard approach with Kraft and DJ Cooper.
Yeah. So sometimes it's Cooper using a pick and roll. Kikanovic is more dangerous when Cooper is on the floor because of that. But the other thing is, can they start to really ramp up that defensive pressure with Cooper and Kraft out there together, create some offense in the open floor?
Well, Cooper has had a while on the bench, but Karen Johnson also back in for MHP Riesen now. Cooper with a little runner. And there's no doubt about it. I mean, if he gets it going, he can score a bunch of points, but quickly is MHP Riesen, and they're not going to sit back. They're going to attack.
Well, I said, Cooper scoring, great. Maybe Monaco are going to come, bring it up the floor a bit, see if they can create the open court. But Ludwigsburg just came back and did exactly that to them.
Rudish, well short, the hand in his face. Lacombe with the rebound. And there for the offensive rebound, the ball knocked out of Kikanovic's hands.
I was about to say, what is Lacombe doing? But the ball didn't hit the ring, so the shot clock. Smart play from him to get it up. And good rebound from Kikanovic.
And good reach from Johnson.
That would have been his third, right? That was a foul.
Well, Peter McNeely has a couple. And Johnson has...
Oh, no, sorry, he's got one.
Yeah. Kraft penetrates out to Cooper. That's his range, but perhaps MHP Riesen more than happy for him to take that shot. Now Cooper drives, dishes again. Kikanovic! And coming out of the timeout, the break. Monaco with a little bit better idea, perhaps, of how they want to attack.
Or Cooper being a lot more aggressive. He hasn't knocked down his 3, 0 for 3 in in this game, but getting into the lane, creating those points for Kikanovic.
Walker pump fake, puts it up, and they're getting layups. A lot of layups.
He's just so smart, Walkup. Had the three, but just under control. His big body, really strong shoulders.
Boy, they barely got that over in time. Kikanovic drives. Oh, a strong move from Kikanovic.
They need that from him. He said this is usually where, you know, Justin Sears comes into the game as that defensive guy for Ludwigsburg. They haven't got that option with him.
But Wiley in the game. McCray running the baseline. Johnson, he's got it. Now to McCray. And now McCray tries to take the bigger Kikanovic to the basket and got a foul call. Thought maybe he was trying to do a little bit too much there.
It's on the rebound. That's a pull box out.
It was from Rudish, raising his left elbow.
You know, they had disadvantage. Kikanovic on a switch has to guard McCray out on the perimeter, forces him into a really tough shot. You've got to finish the play with a rebound.
Everybody's got a rebound. You gotta make Kikanovic go to his left. And watch the back doors. Okay.
So MHP Riesen Ludwigsburg have come out with a terrific start and
you gotta be inside here helping.
up 7.
Okay, just help. Okay, go all the way to the edge.
And the opponents have missed how many free throws? A bunch.
4 for 12.
So that tells you the story.
And I think for Coach John Patrick, he'll be frustrated with the defensive effort in this first 2.5 minutes. His team gave up, 11 points in the whole of the first quarter, already given up 6 here in 2.5 minutes in the second. So that's the cause of his timeout. As I said, the lead at this stage in the game, that's a manageable figure. You got to really just keep building that pressure, turning the screw. You let Monaco get some confidence offensively, the whole game's a different one.
Okay, the ball inbounded to Cook, pulls up for 3, goes down, and now Kraft brings it forward. Kikanovic fumbles it, gets it back. Looks to go at Wiley now, passes back outside. Kraft open for 3, rattles out. Mueller chases down the rebound. And MHP Riesen definitely want to play up tempo. Johnson gets inside. Wiley there with the follow. Back over to Johnson. Now Wiley, little jump hook, a little bit of a crazy shot. And now J.J. Cooper finds Kraft. And now Monaco cut it back to 5 points.
The offense just finding that rhythm. Cooper and Kraft doing an excellent job now.
And MHP Riesen perhaps not quite as effective offensively in their half-court sets without Walkup. But there's Wiley stepping up and hitting the jumper.
You know, Coach Mitrovic, that's what he was scared about. You know, the fact that Wiley's got that extended range and pulling Kikanovic out to guard him on the perimeter.
Rudish gets his shot blocked.
Cook's gone as well.
So Cook is cooking defensively as well. Now Mueller pulls up for the 3, Wiley. And then Wiley throws it back into the hands of Cooper. Cooper hands it off to Kikanovic, and they will go to the line for a 3-point play.
Decision making and how important it is that a 2-on-1, Mueller decides to shoot the 3, turns into a 6-point swing. The 3 he missed, and now the possible 3 they've given up the other way. Cook with a great block. This should have been points going in the other way. First quarter, so often those little decisions made were spot on by Ludwigsburg. Now, second quarter, They haven't worked as well. And Monaco, for all that thing I was talking about, the rhythm, now they found it. Now they're right back into this game.
And Kikanovic converts the opportunity. He will go out and be replaced by Joseph.
And we've got to give him credit. I mean, he went, what, 0 for 4 from the 1 for 4 to start the game. But now 8 points, 3 of 3 from the field. Made a couple of free throws as well now. Much better second quarter performance.
Also in the game for MHP Riesen, Geske. Niklas Geske. Inside, and good strong move from Walaskowski. Well, they'll take that.
An easy one, kind of sneaked inside defense already. It's a different game for Robinson to come back into now, though. You know, team's got that confidence. Now he can try and use some of that, get himself going.
Good defense. The hands by Peter McNeely, almost coming up with a steal and forcing the turnover. Look at this again. In fact, it was also Walaskowski. And Johnson couldn't quite catch it. You know, Patrick, even though his team is at the Final Four, kind of felt like they were flying under the radar a little bit coming into this one because Monaco have been so dominant this season. Here's Kraft and puts it up and in.
What a difference in the game, first quarter to second quarter. Completely different.
Johnson. Back to Walaskowski. And Walaskowski misses. Patrick wanted the foul. Peter McNeely slows up Robinson. But Robinson finally gets around him. Over to Gladier for 3. And that was off the back of the iron. And terrific athleticism from Kraft. And the foul was called on Johnson, who actually had better position.
I think he was grabbing C, not on Kraft.
Look at Kraft there.
Third on Johnson. Yeah, 3 fouls on Johnson.
3.
Yeah.
That's a big loss, but it gets Walker back into the game. See, also back in the game for Monaco. Kraft right now is feeling it, you can see. And Joseph, well, you got to wonder about that shot selection.
Coach Mitrovic did as well. Threw his hands up on the sideline, not happy with that decision.
Maybe in a pickup game.
Look at the D. Robinson all over McNeely. Now only 5 on the clock.
Now Cook drives in. Tough move. Walaskowski battling. Joseph comes down with the rebound.
The points and the rhythm offensively that we talked about in the first quarter, it's also important because it shouldn't make any difference, but the intensity on the defensive end for Monaco now is just, you know, has risen so high, and all it is because of the confidence they've got from offense. You make a couple of shots, the ball goes in the basket, everyone's a step quicker, everybody's moving a bit more, and now you see it on penetration. They're swarming on help, they're getting back on the closeouts, rebounding the ball much better. They just didn't have that energy when they were missing shots in the first quarter.
Gladier for 3. And it was such a bad shot, it went over the basket, and Robinson just fell right into his hands, and he scores with a putback. So now it's a 2-point game. And you wonder, MHP Riesen, they've seen it fritter away here. And Walkup, nowhere to go, turns it over. Kraft, Robinson, if he scores here, it's a tie game, and it is. And just like that, Monaco, despite their struggles with Robinson's fast break layup, ties the contest. And Patrick calls for a timeout.
The difference defensively for Monaco, though. You know, so often that first quarter we saw Ludwigsburg getting into the lane, you know, being really comfortable. This time, Walker puts it on the floor. He's guarded closely, helps pinching in. He turns it over. What happens? Like a jet, Robinson's off. Now he's got the confidence. He's starting to pick up the scoring as well. Signs looking good for Monaco in this second quarter.
Walkup with 6, Cook with 4 rebounds, Walkup with the 6 points, and also the 2 assists. But how does that affect them with Johnson out of the game with the 3 fouls?
Well, he's a major dribble drive creator for Ludwigsburg. So while, you know, Walkup does it as well, he doesn't have that, you know, that quickness that Johnson does to break down a defense. So at times like this, where there's a lot of pressure on the ball from Monaco, you know, Walkup's on the floor. Now Monaco's got the option of putting Kraft on Walkup. Really focus on that. If Walkup and Johnson are out there together, then Johnson's then got a freer reign against a lesser defender, perhaps, to try and do something. Now they don't have that option, and there's still plenty of time, but Ludwigsburg are now the ones that have got to make some changes here. They've got to go on a run. They're the ones going to have to establish defensively or find a way to cause problems for this Monaco defense by finding someone or something that's going to get them some points.
Well, Monaco must be thinking we're 5 of 13 at the free throw line, yet we've come right back. And Cook, strong move.
I like that from Cook. He's probably the guy right now that's going to have the advantage if he can get into the lane. The only thing is, yes, he got fouled. He had Peter McNeely wide open on this side of the floor. So when he does draw the double team, Cook's got to look to be getting other guys going as well.
Oh, this is a free throw, and nervous moments. That foul was called on C.
He's had a great playoffs. Cook, though, really stepped up his game. Among forwards, the best scorer, rebounder, and an assists in the playoffs.
Well, it's a battle of France and Germany. Monaco against MHP Riesen. Bounce pass, Robinson gets it over to Gladier. Eventually one of these will fall, and it does for Sergi Gladier.
Great cut from Robinson, though. He started to just have an extra step of quickness, and so much easier for Gladier on that one. Time and space.
Now Cook again likes his matchup with C, gets it back to Wiley, and Wiley this time guarded by Gladier, denied. Great defense from Monaco. Now C, he's going to pass over to Kraft, wide open, good. Well, he is going to be able to drill that.
Time and
offensive
space.
minded or not.
Time and space means a lot. The defense is now having to adjust to what Monaco's doing. And it leaves Kraft just wide open. This end of the floor, look, no openings whatsoever. No one with that much room.
Now Cook for 3, answers. Boy, that was a huge shot by Cook.
Yeah,
for the psychologically.
Yeah, but not only that, huge because he had a hand in his face. Good defense from C.
So a couple of threes have fallen. Now another attempt, and Gladier misses this one. Walkup gets the rebound. Open floor, pass into the corner. Adika Peter McNeely! And he knocks in the 3. And just like that, it's MHP Riesen back in front.
Three-point shot, such a
weapon.
Yeah.
C. And boy, McRae skied for the rebound, but then he lost it. And the push.
McRae didn't have any space as he's trying to dribble. That's the problem. He ran into his own man more than anything.
So Wiley's going to go out. Evans back in, Walaskowski back in, and Mueller back in. McRae goes out. And Cook. So here again, the defense by both Joseph and Gladier, which led to the opportunity there.
Interesting. Cook goes out. He's got the fouls. That's why. He's got 2 personal. He probably would have just wanted him in for one more offense. Trouble is, trust him not to commit the foul on defense then, though.
Yes. But as you say, so important offensively in this game.
I suppose the way Coach Patrick's looking at it, last minute worst thing, you know, even if they don't score, give up a basket at the other end, it's going to be a 2 or 4 point deficit. You know, he can live with that. He can't live with Cook picking up a third and having to limit his minutes in the second half.
Now walk up into the corner to Mueller, Peter McNeely, this time too hard, and Kikanovic chases down the long rebound and hands the ball off to Lacombe. Now Kraft goes behind his back, over to Lacombe, and that was off the front of the rim.
For the final shot here, be careful of Peter McNeely. He's already made a couple of threes. Don't want him to hit one here.
Walkup, and he was fouled by Kraft, the reach in, but it's only the third team foul, so no free throws. 4.3 seconds remaining. And he's arguing he didn't make any contact. Now, Ali Traore comes into the game. First appearance from him, I think, tonight. France International.
Coming in for the defense instead of Kikanovic. They've still got one more foul to give as well. Probably use that here.
Well, they don't use it, and they get off a three, and it cost them, just like you said. You've got to be aware of Peter McNeely, and he buries another three-pointer of the go-ahead variety, and that'll give MHP Riesen Ludwigsburg a little bit of momentum going back to the changing room. 38-36, it's MHP Riesen on top of Monaco.
Couldn't go nowhere, you know what I'm saying? And they caught it.
Lloyd, here it is again. Look at this last play. Monaco had a foul to give, and they didn't give it.
A huge breakdown. I'm not sure what happened there. But I said Peter McNeely was the one guy on the floor. You know, you really have to be careful of. He can make shots. Apart from that, really, it was only going to go to Thomas Walkup to create something off the dribble, but Peter McNeely, an excellent three-point shooter. He's made, what, 3 of their 4?
Absolutely. He's 3 of 5 from three-point range.
And he's a scorer. You know, as a rookie coming out of college in Canada, he's an excellent, you know, great find for Ludwigsburg.
And it's interesting as you look at the rest of those stats, you know, the MHP Riesen Ludwigsburg, even though they had a double-digit lead and then ended up trailing, they showed some great resolve there to kind of stem the tide right at the end of the first half and to go back in front. And you can see that Peter McNeely, with those 11 points now, has a game high.
Absolutely. I mean, a huge game of runs in that first 20 minutes. First quarter, everything working for Ludwigsburg. You know, you really wondered when Monaco were going to turn up. Second quarter, Monaco just found that rhythm. Everything started to go for them. And I think Monaco will be disappointed that after they established themselves back into the game and they got going the way they did, they caused foul problems on Ludwigsburg, that they then didn't finish the half with a lead.
Well, it's a case of so many talking points in this game. Missed free throws, the terrific start, then I wouldn't say deer in the headlights from MHP Riesen, but it didn't look good there after Monaco came back and went up by 5. And then you have to remember the three-pointer that was made by Cook with a hand in his face to get it back to 2 points. And then it was another three-pointer from, it was Peter McNeely.
Yeah.
To get it back. And then, of course, this shot, not that one, but another Peter McNeely three-pointer right at the end has put MHP Riesen, you know, from a confidence standpoint and feeling good about themselves.
Yeah, I mean, the one thing that doesn't stand out on the statistics that we saw points from turnovers. End of the first quarter, Monaco 0. End of the second quarter, Monaco 9. So 9 of their points coming from MHP Riesen Ludwigsburg turnovers. And that's what we know about Monaco. You turn the ball over against them, they will get steals, they will get in the open floor, they will punish you, and that's how they gain that confidence, just getting the scoreboard ticking over. Then all of a sudden, defensively, they were a different team. And they're just, you know, the cycle just continues. It just gets worse and worse, or more and more if you're a Monaco fan.
So MHP Riesen have a little bit of foul trouble with Johnson having to exit with the 3 fouls. We wondered if they were if Patrick was perhaps being a little bit too cautious by taking Cook out with a minute to go, but it turns out things worked out. He didn't get a foul on his big man, and you just have to wonder. I think we've got an exciting next 20 minutes ahead of us.
Absolutely, set for a great 20 minutes. You know, still a lot of questions to be answered in the second half.
But what a great event. Athens, the site of so many famous basketball games. Of course, 50 years ago, Ike Athens winning the European Cup Winners' Cup, 1968, the first big trophy by a Greek basketball team. And here they are. We know they've had like a storybook run into the Final Four. Now they're hosting the Final Four. This place is going to be rocking when they take on UCAM Murcia. And that's one that we're really looking forward to as well. Every one of these teams is a great talking point. UCAM Murcia, a team that has kind of just had 2 distinctly different seasons. The regular season and in the playoffs, you could argue they've been the best team in the competition. So any one of these 4 teams, we believe, has a genuine chance of going on to win the Basketball Champions League in the second edition of it. Look, Kikanovic, you can see he's had a dodgy start, but starting to get into the flow. What do you think will be the main talking points of Monaco, of Mitrovic, when he goes to halftime, when he goes to the locker room?
Probably offensively, just trying to find some adjustments, see if they can get going. I think Robinson, I talked about the whole time, he was 0 for 5 in that first quarter, and then 2 of 7, so 2 for 2 in the second. He started to get going, and then Kikanovic did a much better job, you know, getting field goals. Cooper's got to score. Cooper's got to score for them. He's just 1 of 4 from the field, and they need somebody else to step up and make outside of Robinson and Kikanovic.
Now, if you look, Lloyd, at the stands on the left, these are actually in front of us. To the left, you've got 1968, and over to the right, 2 zeros, how they've kind of painted them into the seating, and those signify the 2 years when Ike won their basketball trophies, the Supporter Cup in 2000 and the Cup Winners' Cup. So we're at halftime. It's 38-36, MHP Riesen Ludwigsburg on top of Monaco. We'll be right back.
There's usually a lot of nerves. Because I'm nervous, I'm more focused.
There's so much pressure, so much expectation.
The moment I switch on before every game is when I walk into the locker room.
To me, it's when I pray.
After this moment, I'm a totally different person.
It felt like there was a switch in my brain.
At that moment, it's war.
Get a little body tension when you just want to compete.
We like to go into a hostile environment. We want to feel at home when we get to Athens. I don't want to lose. Το παιχνίδι τώρα αρχίζει.
Tempo de juego. Jetzt geht's los.
Let's do the job.
It's game time.
I can play.
Every fire needs a spark. We won't stop till all the world is ours. We are the ones that can rise above the blows. So come on, let's touch the limits. Let's see where we can go.
Stretch your limits. Engelbert Strauss. Enjoy work.
I'm on fire.
So, Coach, a really strong first quarter that put you up at half-time. What went right there?
We got the ball moving a little. We pressed, and we were pretty disciplined with our hands in the second quarter. We had some dumb turnovers. Didn't move the ball as well. They were very physical on defense, but we recovered. We showed a good character and got the lead back.
Yeah, were there any worrying signs for Monaco there in the second?
I mean, they just played super physical, very handsy with the defense, and we need to get more space. We can't stand when they're getting physical, and I think we talked about it at halftime. I think we'll show in the third quarter we can react to that.
Perfect, thanks, Jeff. Good luck this.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So, Coach, your shooting was a bit off in the first quarter, but in the second you managed to pull it back.
Okay, I think
first of all, this is a problem of maybe psychologically, we miss a lot of it. We play a game what we want to play. Control the game, put the ball inside. We go a lot of times for free throws. We don't lose. We don't have too much turnovers on the press. But just we miss a lot of these free throws. And of course, they score in the last 3 offense. This for 3 last second fourth. But I think for me, it's not a problem. That's not just psychologically. The players need to go in the court and to join the game.
Perfect. Thank you. Good luck.
Έχουμε το δεύτερο ημιτελικό. Second semi-final with UCAM Murcia. Από την Ισπανία from Spain και με την ΑΕΚ.
Well, no doubt, Lloyd, 38-36, MHP Riesen Ludwigsburg on top here at Monaco, and the sense of urgency is there for Zvezdan Mitrovic. But what about sense of urgency for his players?
Yeah, of course, it's a semi-final. It's halftime. You're trailing by 2. You went through a disappointing first 10 minutes, but I don't think there's any need to panic quite yet if you're Monaco. Just try to get the rhythm of what you're doing. We know they had the struggles in the first quarter, but now they've established some offense. They've started to make some free throws. They should be okay for this second half. For Ludwigsburg, they just got to get back to what worked for them in the first 10 minutes, and that was defensive intensity. They used fouls, and those fouls took away the offense for Monaco.
You just saw Pina Gershon there, and before that, obviously, the Italian legend, Dino Menigan. So the heavyweights perhaps coming out to watch some basketball. Boy, Dino Menigan he was not a guy that you want to go to war with down on the low blocks, that's for sure. Back in his day, Pina Gershon, the longtime coach of Maccabi Tel Aviv. So the second half action here from Athens is underway. First semifinal of the Basketball Champions League. It's been a terrific second campaign, and now it's down to 4 teams. And which one is going to live to tell the tale? And Elgin Cook was fouled shooting the jump shot, and the ball was hemmed in between the rim and the backboard.
He had a strong first half, Cook. 8 points, 4 rebounds, an assist, a block. And he got pulled out for that final minute. We said, well, maybe you could leave him in for one more offense. They didn't need him, and they've saved him now. Just 2 fouls in the first half. And this is why. First possession of the second half. Monaco questioning the call, but Cook gets himself to the line, making positive things happen. He stepped up in the playoffs. It's one of those things defensively, if you're Monaco, I mean, that's where it's got to happen for you. And you want to get a hand up in the face of the jump shooters. And see is like, what else can I do? Those things even out over the course of the game. 40-36. So a good start here for Riesen. Robinson off 1 foot. And Amadasi, the rebound, and takes it back outside. Kraft. Robinson into Kikanovic. C for 3, and the rebound from Kraft. Boy, Kraft just does so many things. And now he gets inside and misses. Kikanovic crashes the boards, gets it, and then turns it over. Walaskowski, he was surrounded and was trying to pass out of trouble, and he turned it over. Darren Johnson dances to his right. He's got the 3 fouls. Goes off 1 foot. And Walaskowski there with the rebound, and he is fouled. Inside the last 5 seconds, common tactic for teams. Any pick and roll, you switch it. And it just hasn't worked for Monaco today. The problem for, even with 5 seconds, guys with the speed of Kieran Johnson can get past Kikanovic and get to the ring. He did it that time, and even though he missed, what else happened? The mismatch the other way meant that, you know, rolling down the middle, we have Oleszkowski being trying to box out against the smaller man, and that's where he's got the advantage as well.
Well, he takes his time, makes the first free throw, and the foul, I believe it was on Evans. It was indeed. And he has just had a very, very difficult game tonight. 2 points. He's missed 4 free throws. He does have 4 rebounds and an assist. Robinson. The pick set by C. Now Evans. Back to Kraft. Here's Evans. Gets in, flies in, and Patrick asking for a travel, but a foul has been called.
At first look, I didn't think it was. Watching the replay, I think it was a pretty clear travel, personally. I think he did get away with one there.
No.
And this is where you talk about things evening out, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Honey, I'm going to be home late for dinner tonight.
I've got a good one to watch.
I'm staying to the bitter end, 42-36. And Evans gets the second one to fall in. Evans just doesn't look like a happy camper out there. It's 42-38 now. Oh, bounce pass to Johnson. They get it over to Evans. Evans steps in, misses, follows up his own shot, puts it up and in.
Great lift from Evans on the putback. And just went right over the top of Kikanovic, who's got about 6 inches in size on him.
Now Robinson going right at McCray. Inside to C, back to Evans for 3, a lot of arc, and hits it from the arc.
So often, makes the free throw, now the little confidence. Hits the 3 straight on back-to-back possessions.
So credit C with the assist on that one. And now Walkup. Shot clock winding down. Oleszkowski for 3, short. And Monaco, Kraft, bounce pass to C, lays it up and in. Boy, terrific play by Kraft.
Great look from Kraft, but Amari C running the floor. Doing those little effort areas.
Johnson, and ball knocked off the rim by Kikanovic. Look at this play. And the hustle. So McCray's coming out. Peter McNeely comes back in. Cook comes back in as well. And Oleszkowski will go out as you see the replay of this beautiful bounce pass up to C. And you mentioned it. C hustling up ahead.
Ludwigsburg on with this small lineup again. Cook and Evans on the inside. It really worked for them first half. Will he have the same impact here? Or will Kikanovic be able to use his size around the ring?
And the shot clock is winding down. C, Kikanovic trying to get position. C puts it up. C knocks in the shot from the baseline. And Monaco back in front for the captain.
The Admiral, as he's known. And rightly so, because they say where he takes them.
Now Peter McNeely goes down, and Mazzoni telling him to get up. That almost went in. Now Kikanovic surrounded again. C feeling it. And the Admiral, the team Admiral, goes to the bench with a little extra bounce in his step.
Absolutely. Well, they call him the Admiral because they say that when he steers the ship, everything's going right. So he can lead the team where they need to go and comes in with what, 7 points?
Absolutely, he hit the fast break.
Six.
He had the 2 jump shots.
Yeah.
Everybody's standing.
He's got 8 points on the game. In the game.
You gotta run a play. Okay, we're gonna go 2 feet. Okay, Adike, you're coming out this way. Okay.
9-0 run from Monaco.
Look, Adike's coming out this way. If you can turn the corner, go ahead and turn it. Dwayne, you're gonna set it out here. If you turn the corner, fine. They cut it or doesn't get it, flash here. Okay. And then we got Malik.
And again, free throw shooting such a big part of this game. You see that Monaco, had they made some free throws, they'd be really almost a comfortable lead in this game, but 9 of 17.
Biggest scoring run of the game right now for Monaco, and it's that man there, MRC. He's doing it for him.
Coach Patrick wanting to see his team run some offense. Remember, no Justin Sears. A key man in the playoffs, especially tearing his ACL, MCL, and lost for the season. Hopefully things will go well for him as he tries to battle back. Here's Patrick. Boy, Kraft is just a pest, isn't he? But he's going to take a seat now, and Cooper is going to come back in. So Kraft picks up his 2nd foul. I think from a defensive standpoint, they're definitely a better team when he's out there. Here's Cook, kind of trying to create something. Evans with a rebound. Johnson for 3, short. And Evans with a board. Now good hands from Peter McNeely, forcing the turnover. Johnson is fouled by C. And Johnson gets up limping.
They're both slow to get up, weren't they? Johnson hurts himself here, and then C jumps right on him and kind of hurts himself as well.
Peter McNeely defensively.
Ankle.
So it's
Johnson twisted his ankle. Yeah.
So it's even before C got on top of him.
That's why he went to the floor, just stepped back and stepped on the foot of C. Seems to be Arcado Johnson. Here he is with the ball. This is a man I think Ludwigsburg want to get going. So often can be an X factor.
Well, they're guarding him now, aren't they?
Pass.
Cook hands it off. Evans. Oh boy, what an effort by Evans. Looked like he was denied and he's stuck with it.
Well, effort is the right word, because that's all it was. Tough passes, you know, they really had to put together an effort, a physical effort just to get a shot away. All the plays you need to win championships.
Now Cooper. Evans for 3, another one for him. Yes, it is. Boy, he is a different player in this 3rd quarter.
Great find from Cooper off the screen. A skip pass, recognizing where the help came from.
Johnson pulls up right behind the line, goes down. Robinson on the break, misses the 3. Well, that would have been a big shot from Monaco. And now Johnson gets in there and picks up the foul on Cooper. Well, he puts the pressure on the D, and you can see that Cooper just kind of slid in front of him just a little bit at the end. But boy, a full half meter behind the arc there, Evans, for that last 3. And that was the effort play.
Yeah, they're the type of plays, it wasn't pretty, but he just did what he had to. Went back door, kind of had to be a bit creative and getting the first shot away, stayed with it on the 2nd effort. talked a lot about Robinson, but Evans as well. He's kind of stepped up a bit in this second half. He's been a big-time scorer throughout his career, so it's no surprise to see him do that.
He's leading him in scoring right now. So just 1 of 2 for Johnson. Cooper. Boy, he left his feet, ends up passing, and Johnson flies in, scores with the reverse layup.
Excellent recognition of space from Robinson to make that cut.
And now Evans comes out and fouls Johnson a long way from the basket. Look at this play from Joseph. What a bounce pass that was. And then that's just not necessary by Evans. So it puts Johnson back on the free throw line. So Monaco over the limit with 3:20 remaining here in the third quarter. There's Penny Garrison. Always knows when there's a good basketball game to watch. And this time Johnson makes both free throws. Thomas Walkup has been out of the game for a while. He checks back into the game for Johnson. Well, MHP Riesen hanging in there. It has definitely been a real battle for this Monaco team today. They have not been at their best, but they're trying to play at their best right now when it's hot. And the pass intercepted by Evans. Cooper trying to go showtime with Evans. Walk up for 3.
It's the offense of Ludwigsburg that's gone flat in this third, isn't it? We struggled, just 11 points for them in this quarter.
Robinson, oh, what a play from Robinson. Way up there. Look at this, the elevation and the finish.
Gets his knee in the face of Thomas Walkup. I mean, Walkup took a hammering on that. First of all from Robinson, and then from his own man as well, Evans from behind.
And now the steal, Joseph. Walkup gets back on defense, and Walkup knocks it out of his hands, but then Lacombe reaches in and gets it back and hands it off to Robinson. And Patrick calls timeout. Boy, the Monaco defense was ferocious there, relentless. Look at this, Walkup knocks it away, but then it's Lacombe who takes it right back and dishes it to Robinson. Patrick wanted the foul, but he didn't get it.
Nobody wants the ball. Stop the ball. Okay, look, we got time left. Come on, you're back in.
Biggest deficit that they have faced in the game, Lloyd. 7 points.
We gotta want the ball, okay?
Yeah, right now, everything looking towards Monaco. Ludwigsburg, as we talked about in the first half, really. Now the offense is becoming a struggle. The defense is just falling apart. You know, they're second best to the ball on the floor. Lacombe just outworked him there. And you see the effort of Monaco just rotating, getting hands up, challenging shots. They've done an excellent job since that first quarter. And this is the kind of Monaco performance we expected, really, a lot more than we saw in that first 10 minutes.
Well, Robinson, as you alluded to, has gotten it going here as well of late. He has been a key. He's now gotten 12 points, and the block has been called on Joseph.
I mean, this third quarter, Robinson and Evans, really, isn't it? We've started to score now for Monaco. They didn't do that in the first half. These two combined for 22 personal. Check at the half, you know, they'd combined for 8.
And Johnson misses another free throw, another opportunity.
Seems like the first quarter in reverse. Missed free throws, you know, struggles offensively for Ludwigsburg, the same that Monaco did, but let's not forget, Monaco made a comeback in the second quarter as well, so I'm sure Ludwigsburg could do the same here.
Wiley McRae looking on from the bench. Now 12 of 16 at the free throw line, MHP Riesen. And good defense from Peter McNeely, forcing the turnover by Gerald Robinson.
Just looking, Mitrovic was asking for a foul, said he was getting slapped on the way up the floor, but replay shows that's not true.
No, Mitrovic will complain about most things. That was Peter McNeely. Oh, great attempt, but doesn't finish. And Kikanovic swooped in for the rebound. Cooper for 3. Walkup goes up for the board. Game turning very physical.
Got to finish here with numbers.
Evans puts it up from deep, and Walkup there for the rebound, puts it up and in.
Possession. That was the possession that come up empty. Similar sort of set of circumstances in the first half. Those open floor scores so important.
Cooper 0 of 4 from three-point range, but Evans has it going right now, and he got Cook off his feet. He bit on the pump fake.
Anytime you get a defender up in the air,
look at that.
Offense just at the advantage. Any contact as Cook's traveling forward is going to go against him. Look at Walkup doing what he does. He gets the ball, pushes, makes the pass, offensive rebound, points. He's been a bit quieter than we usually see him at Walkup. 8 points, 5 rebounds.
Boy, Evans in this third quarter has just been utterly immense at halftime.
2 points.
He had 2 points, 4 rebounds. And right now, Evans has got, is it 12 points, 7 rebounds? So he is having himself quite a third quarter. Now the pass from Johnson led Evans just a little too much, perhaps, or Evans.
Yeah, Evans isn't really used to being that role finisher. Usually he's the guy who can kind of pick and pop a bit, but the lineup is different for Ludwigsburg right now. Still with this small matchup.
Walkup guarding Gerald Robinson. Robinson explodes. Entry pass. Peter McNeely. He was there and gets it to Evans, who is blocked from behind by Gerald Robinson.
Great effort from Robinson. Evans was ahead of everyone. I don't think he knew. He slows down, watch. Thinking he's going to get the easy one.
Boy, tough inbounds pass handled by Walkup with 15 on the shot clock. Now Peter McNeely again. Lacombe moving his feet in front of him. Evans drives in. Are they going to count that?
No, 2 shots.
But it looked like the ball was on the way down, but maybe, here, watch this. Well, Lacombe gets the block. They called the foul. No, he got it before it was on the way down.
Yeah, I got to give credit to Lacombe's defense as well today in that possession. He got the block, but before that, he played some great one-on-one defense, kept his man in front. We've seen him come up with a couple of loose balls. You know, defensively, rotations have been very good as well. So another one of those areas that might not get recognized with the glamour of the steal.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. I mean, a typical Lacombe game is 6 points, 4 of 10, 4 of 11 from the floor, 5. He helps you in a myriad of ways.
Yeah, I got to say that usually defensively isn't where I think he's at his forte, though.
Oh, you don't think it is?
Usually, I wouldn't have said, you know, but today I think he's done a really good job.
Here he is. Definitely plays with a lot of intensity, Lacombe. And he's taking on Mueller now. Mueller tries to fight through the pick, picks up the foul. That's the third foul in the quarter on MHP Riesen. So they've got another one to commit. Traoré looking on, hasn't played much tonight. Here's Rudish. Now Cooper. Well, Cooper can break down anybody. Is he going to launch it? He's going to get it back to Kikanovic for three. Oh, that was big. Yeah, they had another foul to give, and they didn't give it. And perhaps paid the price. And just like that, Monaco, trailing by 2 at halftime, now have a 61-54 lead with 10 minutes remaining.
25-16 that quarter in favor of Monaco. Huge third quarter from them. And those percentages that in the first half were so skewed towards Ludwigsburg, now completely the other way. 3-point shooting all towards Monaco, and everything offensively just working for them. Ludwigsburg, every basket they scored in that third period was a battle. It was hard for them to get it. Monaco's defense really has made the adjustments they needed from that first 20 minutes.
And offensively, we alluded to it, Chris Evans with just 2 points at halftime has really stepped up in that third quarter. He now has 12, so he had 10 points in the third quarter and also had 3 rebounds. And Monaco struggled at the line in the first half, but made all 4 of their attempts in that third quarter. But that was a big 3. And that almost, at the end by Kikanovic, but he's a good shooter.
Oh, he got another scout, 100% on the season, Jeff. I think that's his second attempt, but
he can shoot it.
Yeah, usually mid-range. He's not usually a 3-point shooter, but as you said, they got a foul to give. They chose not to do it. They diced with death and lost.
We'll come back. 61
points by quarter, and all adds up to a 7-point lead.
Possession for Monaco as well. For the start of this fourth quarter, they can just continue to build.
Now Gladier hits a 3, and it's their biggest lead of the game, 10 points.
Like clockwork, out of the timeout, Mitrovic draws it up. Perfect execution, knew exactly what they were trying to get.
Interestingly, Kikanovic doesn't take the threes, doesn't take many, but he's also 2 of 2 in France. And the answer from Johnson. So when he takes them, he makes them.
So he's 100% on the season in all competitions.
Which begs the question, why doesn't he take some more?
Yeah.
Well, that was an important shot from Johnson to get at least 2 of them back. And now the quick hands almost leading to a turnover.
Those inches from Peter McNeely getting the steal, which would have probably been an easy 2 at one end of the floor. And instead, he's 2 inches away from stealing it, commits a foul. Now it's a fresh 14. Now they've got to play defense again. Now Monaco get a chance to get another score, build on this 12-point lead.
And 3 fouls on Peter McNeely. This time, was it Waleskowski that forced the turnover? Good hands, though, from Robinson. Or excuse me, Cooper. Almost getting the ball back from Monaco. But defensively, MHP Riesen giving themselves a chance here, coming up with the steal. Now Walkup gets around. Boy, how did he finish? That was a terrific finish from Walkup.
He's really strong. you know, shoulders, arms, everything, can take that contact.
Lacombe hustles up, gets it to Kikanovic, who goes up for the dunk, and Walker says you're going to have to earn it. Boy, look at the elevation from Walker.
He's just got no right to block that shot. And you think, why is he even trying to get to it? But he's one of those guys. He just does anything you need to win.
Look at this. He's already, it's like he's falling down, but he's able to maintain his balance.
I'm a huge fan of Walker. I think, you know, the first year in Europe, he's had a tremendous season. And he would have raised a lot of eyebrows. A lot of people probably would have knocked. Like we were talking about at the start of the year, what position is he? You know, what is he, a point guard? Is he a forward? Is it what is he? I think people just see him now as a player, full stop, and see the qualities he can bring.
And I guess you'd have to say the foul was worth it. Only coming away with 1 point to Kikanovic. Now Johnson gets it over to Evans, and Evans goes in and draws the foul from Kikanovic. And look at Patrick, he likes the offense that time.
It's a good cut. Good cut from Evans. So often players will just stand and try and take the three because we know he can shoot it. Recognize the opportunity to get something better as long as he can make these shots from the line. Still very much alive.
Haven't mentioned Johannes Thiemann, but the German international lost at a key point this season for MHP Riesen Ludwigsburg. He's made the trip here to watch the team play. Just 1 of 2 free throws back to a 65-59 deficit. So 6 points. Now Cooper. Bounce pass, Kikanovic turns, puts it up. Oh boy.
Lovely little fake from Kikanovic. Sold it to 2 defenders. Great patience from him. He's a patient player in the low post.
He's got 15 points, and what a finish from Evans. Goodness me.
Well, Evans is playing the more traditional power forward slot now. And even against Rudez, he has that quickness.
Yeah, Damian Rudez didn't contain it, but look at this move. Oh, fake. Think you're going to block it? Think again. Spins. And the Monaco faithful. Loving it.
He's no quick player, Kikanovic, but does an excellent job of knowing he's not quick, not trying to be quick. Under control, sells a lot of fakes, has some great footwork.
Oh, another missed free throw now. Lacombe passes out to Gladier. Cooper. See into Kikanovic for the dunk. He says, stop this. 17 points for Kikanovic.
Ludwigsburg trying to chase the game now, and it's going to give these openings to Monaco.
Now Cook hasn't been a major factor here in the second half. Walaskowski goes right at Kikanovic. Evans battles McCray, gets it, puts it up for 3. C chases the ball goes out of bounds. Still plenty of time for MHP Riesen.
Yeah, they're trying to chase the game a bit too early, I think. You know, going for steals, gambling on defense. And then they sit to the floor. They don't need to take bad shots. They just need to, take high quality ones. Get into the line, even better for them if they can do that.
Yep, well that's already 3 fouls now on Monaco here in the 4th quarter.
If you can draw these cheap fouls, means you get to the line, points on the board when the clock is stopped. Ideal situation.
That was a clear foul. Petrovic is over there having a word with the referee. Now Johnson. And C reads the pass. He's going coast to coast. The dunk. Boy, has he been big.
Yeah, back-to-back dunks at a really crucial time in the game for Monaco. This is the time. If they can steady now, just capitalize, really hold this lead. And again, look, steals.
And Lacombe on the break, back outside to Cooper. And it might have done Riesen a favor there by not attacking the basket. But content to take a little bit of time off the clock. Make them work on defense. Pass to C, and rebound by Evans. So MHP Riesen dodged a bullet there. Kraft coming back in on the next dead ball from Monaco. And now Johnson, his second consecutive turnover.
3 straight turnovers.
3 in a row.
Not for Johnson, but for Ludwigsburg.
Oh, sorry, okay.
Yeah.
This is just careless. You can't have that from your point guard.
Talked about before the game, steals, how important they are to Monaco because it creates the offense for them. They've got 71 now, and we know 3 turnovers in a row, 2 of those being steals, 13 points from turnovers for Monaco.
Wiley comes back into the game. Interestingly, he matches up with Gladier. And Gladier gets past him, gets it back to Kraft. Now Kraft, no look to Evans. Gladier for 3. Good! Boy, he's found his stroke tonight, hasn't he? Gladier, 3 3-pointers.
With time and space, he's such a good shooter. You know, this is a guy shot 40% on the season as a 19-year-old in Ukraine, so you know he's got that quality.
And the foul called on Evans, hooking Lacombe. And now it's not looking good for MHP Riesen. Starting to unravel. And that's just not necessary. So timeout called on the floor. And this is Gladier's latest 3-pointer. And Monaco now from 3-point range, 8 of 25. In fact, Gladier 4 of 6 from 3-point range.
He missed his first 2 as well.
So you're talking about a player drafted in the NBA by Atlanta. Never went to the NBA, stayed in Europe, was playing in Spain. Has come to France and has been a big hit with Monaco. One of the only 2 Monaco players that played last year at the Final Four. And they wanted to keep him. And I suppose for him, he wanted to stay. I mean, who wouldn't want to stay in Monaco? I know he was their Leaders' Cup trophy, one of their MVPs of their 3 consecutive Leaders' Cup trophies. He was the MVP of that competition last year in France.
Yeah, with time and space, he's a really good player. And that's why, you know, when Monaco have threats on the floor, he becomes an even bigger threat. So now the mental battle for Ludwigsburg is how they deal with this deficit, mentally more than anything. They've just, as we said, they've been rushing shots. They've been so eager to get this lead back again. It's something they're not going to be able to do in a minute. They're going to have to take their time, just try and chip away at this advantage.
Gladier out of the game now, replaced by Kraft, and Robinson uses his body well. Patience.
And that's the advantage you have when you've got the lead. You can take your time, you're in no hurry, and you can wait for those real high-quality shots.
Can anybody beat this Monaco team? Wiley spins, puts it up, had the move, just didn't have the finish.
Not sure where Ludwigsburg are going for their points. You know, where's the direction for their offense these last few plays? Saying this is how we're going to get ourselves back into the game. I haven't seen it.
Lacombe. Now Evans, shot clock winding down. Somebody's got to put it up. It's Kukanovic. Good! And you know you're in the flow when you're making shots at the end of the shot clock.
Well, a couple of times he's done it, the 3. And now that one and another steal.
Here comes Evans. The Evans show. He lays it up and in. He looked back to see if anybody was trailing. Robinson, excuse me, looking back for Evans. Bounce pass inside to Walaskowski, and he is blocked by Lacombe.
go again. 13-0 run, but they're just going to milk the time.
Evans for three, good! Boy, it is night and day, isn't it, from Monaco. You had to be really concerned as a Monaco fan back in that first quarter, and now it's almost as if they're home and dry. This MHP Riesen team has just kind of lost its composure here in this fourth quarter. And wholesale substitutions. Remember, if they don't pull off the miracle comeback, they'll play in the third place game on Sunday against the loser of the AEK Athens, of the AEK UCAM Murcia. Johnson in the lane, puts it up and in. Back to a 20-point deficit. Cooper, no look, and the dog, and it's about time. Have we gone through an entire season without seeing an Evans dunk of that magnitude?
Well, leads the Basketball Champions Leagues in dunks. And he adds to that tally today.
Well, this dunk here is, watch this. Do not get in the way of this one, folks. And he may have even been fouled on that play.
Absolutely.
No, it's okay.
In fact, to take it back, he was tied first with Mike Toby with 20 on the season. That takes him to 21. Monaco rolling though now, aren't they?
What must the AEK fans be thinking watching this impressive second half from Monaco? If they can get into the final, they are going to have to be a very good team. Kraft reaches around, passes up to Cooper, and he's just going to wait. He thought about putting up another one for Evans. And the turnovers, which have not been a problem for MHP Riesen this season, have been here tonight.
They average, what, 10 a game coming in, 16 on the game, 6 of which have come in this fourth quarter, where the game's really just got away from them up until that point. You know, they've done a really good job, but 6 turnovers in this 8 minutes. 6 turnovers, 4 field goals in that time. Anytime you've got more turnovers than field goals, you know, you've got a problem.
McRae telling his guys, we're down 22, but we got to keep playing. We got to run our stuff. And Joseph, not sure what the delay is in this. Is Evans trying to check out? How big was How big was C in this game?
Wow.
Amar C.
That crucial period, and that's the difference in this game. Just crucial times, crucial runs. How many times the captions come up? Good runs for Monaco. How many times we've seen it for Ludwigsburg? And then when the lead did start to stretch out, the question for Ludwigsburg that they never answered was, where are they going to go? So the fact that they don't have that go-to guy, they never they never had a direction. They never ran a play saying, this is our man, this is the guy, this is how we're going to get ourselves back into the game. And it didn't work today.
So disappointment on the bench of Riesen, of MHP Riesen Ludwigsburg, and remember they were leading at halftime.
Yeah.
They had a real, we believed in that third quarter. It just, Monaco just kind of grabbed the game by the scruff of the neck.
The difference is for me, talking about those key guys, you look down the scorers for Monaco. If you'd coming in, you'd have guessed, well, we'll say, we talked about Chris Evans. Robinson didn't start particularly great, 16 points. Evans, 17 points. Kikanovic, I mean, he had a nightmare from the foul line. He's 7 of 7 from the field, 19 points. Then you got C, the Admiral, controls the ship, 10 points for him. and that's it, right? All the guys, they did what we expected them to do. They stepped up for Monaco when they were needed.
Three-pointer, and Cooper still can't get it to go from deep.
I would say he was the only one really that hasn't, just because he didn't get the three-point shot really going to the radar a little off for Cooper. He's 0 of 5.
You think, speaking of the Admiral, he led this Monaco team here by boat? Did they fly here?
So you want him to be renamed the pilot now? Is that it?
And pass inside, and the finish is good from Seric. Mateo Seric coming into the game. So the season for MHP Riesen Ludwigsburg, the title hopes have disappeared here, but they will still come back and play in the third-place game on Sunday. Monaco, meanwhile, have met their aim of getting into the final, which they did not do last season when they lost to Banvit. So they will play the winner of Ike in the final on Sunday. The winner of Ike against Lucan Murcia. Remember, MHP Riesen Ludwigsburg denied by Jordan Theodore and Banvit last year at the death in that quarterfinal. At least they've made it to the Final Four. It's been a terrific season for them. But, you know, the cream kind of rises to the top, doesn't it? And it happened, it took a while in this game, but this Monaco team finally started to play the way that we've watched them play for most of this season, when only 2 teams have been able to actually beat them in games. Pino Karciaka, as well as losing that second leg of that quarterfinal against Banvit by a point. So now it's on to the final for Monaco, and it's back to the locker room here for MHP Riesen Ludwigsburg. They need to forget about this, come back and get ready. They lose it. Monaco wins it 87-65. They just blow them out in the second half.
Hugely impressive last 3 quarters. Take away that first 10 minutes for Monaco. They're plus 27 on the game. And, you know, that shows you the level of domination, really, in the second half for sure, but in those 3 periods, really did, you know, they weren't ready to play in the first 10 minutes, but after that, an impressive performance.
Well, God, I tell you, as we look at Riesen, they say thank you to the fans and for everybody for coming out tonight. Monaco, meanwhile, go and shake the hands of their contingent that have made this journey to Greece, and Evans. And I'll tell you, it was a Jekyll and Hyde performance from Evans, wasn't it? I mean, he just didn't look like he was at the races early. But boy, was he unbelievable in that second half. So they were able, the Admiral was able to right the ship. And Monaco sailed into the final. The numbers, Lloyd.
Well, 68% from Monaco. When they started the game, you wouldn't have believed it. I mean, I remember they had 2 field goals in the first quarter. It was an absolute, you know, horror show from the field for them. But turnovers there, 16, we said, 6 of those coming in the fourth quarter for Ludwigsburg, and at a time where they just really, needed to cement themselves, needed to get high quality shots. They couldn't do it. Couldn't even get into their offense. The defense from Monaco, relentless in pressure and passing lanes, creating steals and leading to this lead.
Yeah, Kraft really crucial today as they battled through those difficult moments. Evans as well, the candidate, see just so many positives that you can talk about Monaco.
Yeah, 3 scorers, more than anyone from Ludwigsburg, and you know that's the key. So we talked about the step-up performances from Monaco, Ludwigsburg, that strength in depth, yes, but no one really had the great game. Walk up, solid, 10 points, 5 rebounds for him, but that's not his greatest game. Peter McNeely, 11 points, all in the first half. Johnson, solid, 12 points, but 4 of 9 from the field. And Cook, 10 points, but you know, no one really went from good to great, and that's what you need to beat a team like Monaco.
Well, there were some that wondered if Monaco would be as good as they were in the regular season, perhaps because they kind of like steamrolled all of their opponents in the group in the regular season. And you know what? They just seem to be answering the call, and now just one win away from would have to be their greatest achievement, the title in the Basketball Champions League.
I think Amara C, as we see him, that little run he had, but his place on the team is so important. You know, I don't know if they can win this competition without him coming back and playing.
You know, because there was a moment there early where you wondered maybe he shouldn't have played because he was struggling against Cook, wasn't he?
Yeah, and we heard before the game there was a question mark. You know, reporters here, people were saying he might not play at all. He was out on the floor, but in the last practice before they came here to Athens, he'd re-injured his hand and he stepped up. I mean, it's the Final Four. You're going to play through pain, and 36 years of age, that's what he's done his whole career.
Well, really, all these guys stepped up. I mean, is there anybody in the Monaco team that didn't step up in the second half? Not really.
Yeah, no, I mean, the only thing you can really point to, DJ Cooper didn't knock down the open 3.
Yeah.
Apart from that, you know, Cooper and Kraft perhaps didn't score when he was given the opportunity, but it didn't matter because those two give you so many positives at other stages.
So that is it, folks. One finalist is known, and we're going to watch the next one. Be sure to stay tuned. One last time, Monaco win it over MHP Riesen Ludwigsburg to advance to the final of the Basketball Champions League.
We're back from the dead.